There will come a time in your journey when everything seems still. The phone stops ringing, the opportunities go silent. The people who once promised to help you vanish into thin air. You stand in the middle of your dream, surrounded by nothing but quiet, and you wonder if the silence means failure. But I tell you this, delay is not denial. Every great idea, every grand vision, every towering success is born first in silence, tested in darkness, and refined through delay. The universe is not ignoring you. It is preparing you. It delays not to punish, but to position. A farmer does not plant a seed today and demand the harvest tomorrow. He knows nature will not obey impatience. He plants, waters, and waits. The waiting is not wasted. It is the invisible process of transformation. So it is with your dream. The invisible always precedes the visible. The unseen roots come before the rising tree. The silence before the sound. The waiting before the manifestation. If you are in the waiting season, do not despair. The silence you feel is not abandonment, it is design. The universe is working through unseen channels, rearranging circumstances, aligning people, and perfecting timing. Delay is the refining fire, where weak intentions are burned away and only true desire remains. If your purpose can survive the delay, it is destined to live forever. You see, there are two kinds of dreamers, those who demand results now and those who are willing to grow into the results they desire. The first breaks under time's pressure. The second becomes unbreakable through time's discipline. I once observed that most people stop 3 feet from gold. They dig, and when the earth resists, they surrender. They call the resistance a sign of denial. But the truth is, resistance is proof of proximity. The closer you get to the treasure, the harder the earth becomes. So do not curse the struggle. It is the signal that your breakthrough is near. Delay is not the end. It is the test. It is life asking you, how bad do you want this? Those who give up fail not because they were denied, but because they misread the silence. They mistook divine timing for rejection. They confused patience with punishment. But success, my friend, is reserved for those who endure. Look back through history, and you will find no man or woman of greatness who did not wrestle with delay. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before light obeyed him. Henry Ford went bankrupt 5 times before he rolled out his first car. Abraham Lincoln lost election after election before he stepped into destiny. These were not denials. They were delays, carefully sculpting character, precision, and faith. The law of nature is clear. Everything you desire must first be matched by what you become. If you seek a crown, you must first prove the weight of it will not crush you. So while the world sleeps, you must be working. While others doubt, you must be believing. While doors remain closed, you must prepare yourself for when they open. The delay is not your enemy. It is your mentor. It is teaching you discipline, humility, and the ability to act without applause. These lessons cannot be skipped, for they are the foundation upon which lasting success is built. And remember, instant success is often instant failure. The man who rises too quickly falls just as fast, for he has no roots to hold him when the winds of challenge come. I have seen men gain wealth before they gained wisdom, and lose both overnight. I have seen others gain fame before they gained fortitude, and crumble under the weight of their own ego. But I have never seen a man who endured delay, cultivated discipline, and maintained faith who did not eventually rise, stronger than before. When life pauses your plans, it is often because you are being prepared for something greater than you asked for. You are being stretched, tested, and refined. The delay is the universe saying, wait, I am not done shaping you yet. The man who understands this does not panic in silence. He studies, builds, trains, and prepares, knowing the time will come when preparation meets opportunity. Do not let impatience rob you of greatness. The child who pulls at the flower before it blooms kills it. The miner who stops before striking gold never learns how close he was. The dreamer who quits before the miracle never sees the dawn that was seconds away. Delay does not mean denial. It means the roots are still growing. Faith is not believing when things happen. It is believing until they do. And belief is not blind hope. It is disciplined expectation. It is the unshakable knowing that what you desire is already yours in spirit, and that time itself is the only distance between the unseen and the seen. In moments of delay, remind yourself of this truth. You are not waiting on success. Success is waiting on you to be ready. You are not being punished. You are being prepared. The man who waits with purpose becomes unstoppable. The man who gives up in frustration remains forever average. So rise each morning as if your breakthrough were scheduled for today. Work as if the door could open at any moment. Speak, act, think, and believe as if the thing you desire is already making its way toward you, because it is. Delay does not stop destiny. Only doubt does. The world will tell you time is running out, but I tell you time is working for you. Every delay is orchestrating the perfect intersection of preparation and opportunity. So the next time life slows your pace, remember this is not denial. This is the silent hand of destiny, building you into the person capable of carrying the promise. Hold your vision. Hold your faith. Hold your fire. For the moment will come suddenly without warning, when everything you've endured will make sense, and you will stand where you once only dreamed, realizing the delay was never punishment. It was protection. It was design. It was destiny waiting for you to be ready. There is a sacred rhythm to the unfolding of destiny. The seed never demands to know why the soil must first bury it. It simply trusts the darkness, for it knows that before it can rise, it must first be hidden. Many men curse the delay because they cannot see the miracle taking shape beneath the surface. They mistake stillness for stagnation, and they abandon their dream just when it was about to sprout. But I tell you this, delay is not denial. Delay is divine preparation. The world tests the worthiness of your desire before it crowns you with its reward. It asks you, do you truly want it? Will you keep the fire alive when the night seems endless? Will you keep your mind anchored when your heart trembles? The universe withholds not to punish you, but to purify you, to refine your belief until doubt has no breath left to speak. Consider the life of Edison. Thousands of failures mocked his ambition, yet he never saw them as rejection. Each delay was a teacher whispering, you are closer. He did not pray for the result to appear. He became the result through persistence. And when the light finally burned, it did not just illuminate a room, it illuminated human potential. Every delay in your life is building that same kind of electricity within you. You are generating power in the silence. When you understand that truth, patience becomes your ally, not your enemy. Impatience is the child of fear, the belief that if it does not happen now, it will never happen at all. But patience is the expression of mastery, the calm knowing that what is yours cannot miss you. The farmer does not dig up the soil to check if the roots are growing. He waters, he tends, and he waits. Faith is that waiting with certainty, that inner knowing that the delay is part of the design. You see, your dream was never denied, it was being developed. The version of you who first asked for it was not ready to handle it. The goal was not too big. Your mindset was too small. Life delays the blessing until your mind expands enough to hold it. You cannot receive abundance with a scarcity mindset, nor can you sustain success with the habits of mediocrity. The universe protects you from premature rewards, because an unprepared mind can destroy what it desires most. Every setback is training for your spirit. Every pause is sharpening your awareness. Every unanswered prayer is a mirror asking, who are you becoming while you wait? Will you complain or will you create? Will you fold or will you forge? Because in the silence, character is born. It is in the seasons where nothing seems to move that the strong are separated from the weak. And listen to me, success has a vibration, a frequency. You cannot rush into it out of desperation. You must rise into it through alignment. When your thoughts, emotions, and actions resonate with your vision, time bends in your favor. That is when delay transforms into divine timing. What once felt like resistance now feels like rhythm. The world does not reward those who wish, it rewards those who prepare. While others are cursing their waiting, use yours to become sharper, wiser, disciplined. Let the delay mold you into the person who can keep what you've asked for. For many reach success and lose it, not because they were denied, but because they never became the person success required them to be. There is a silence before every storm of greatness. There is a pause before every resurrection. Think of Lincoln, years of political defeats, heartbreak, and failure. Yet through those years his vision matured, his empathy deepened, his strength crystallized. The delay did not deny him the presidency. It sculpted him into the man who could carry it. You must not only endure your delays, you must learn from them. The man who curses his waiting will never understand its wisdom. Every delay holds a lesson hidden within it, a correction, a refinement, a call to evolve. If you are being delayed, it is because you are being developed. So when life slows you down, don't fight it. Observe it. Ask, what is this trying to make me? Because life will never give you what you want. It will give you what you are. And the delay is how it changes who you are. You are not being punished. You are being positioned for a timing that will make sense only in hindsight. What you call waiting, the universe calls alignment. And when that alignment comes, it will arrive suddenly, as if the delay never existed. Stay faithful. Stay steady. Your time is not past. It is being prepared. Remember, even the stars take years before their light reaches Earth, yet when it does, it shines with the brilliance of eternity. Your delay is simply the distance between your creation and your manifestation. It's already yours. Time is just catching up. There comes a moment in every dreamer's life when silence becomes deafening, when effort seems invisible, when every door you knock on echoes but never opens. That is the testing ground, the sacred forge where destiny decides who will rise and who will retreat. It is in that space, that painful waiting room between desire and realization, that most people surrender. But those who understand that delay is not denial, they become unstoppable. Because delay is where the dream meets discipline. It's where emotion fades and commitment must carry you. Anyone can be motivated when things move fast. It takes a master to stay focused when everything slows down. It is easy to trust when blessings fall like rain. It takes faith of steel to trust when the skies stay silent. Understand this. The delay is not to break you, it is to build you. Every minute that feels wasted is quietly weaving strength into your spirit. Every setback is chiseling away what is weak so that only what is unshakable remains. You are being sculpted into someone who can not only climb the mountain but stay on top of it. Look at history. Greatness has always been delayed. Henry Ford was told his vision for the automobile was foolish. He waited, refined, rebuilt. He failed, yet never fell into despair. He understood that time is not an enemy. It is an architect. Each delay was designing his empire. When he finally broke through, the delay itself became his advantage. For while others gave up, he kept learning. By the time they understood, he was years ahead. That's what the delay does. It creates separation. It isolates the committed from the curious, the real from the pretenders. While others get tired, you get sharper. While others lose faith, you double down on vision. That is how you become the one who deserves the reward. You see, the world isn't testing your dream. It's testing your identity. The question isn't, will your dream happen? The real question is, who will you become while it's unfolding? Will you still rise early? Will you still discipline your mind? Will you still believe in yourself when applause fades and only silence answers? The greatest victories are not won in the spotlight. They're forged in the invisible hours. The unseen mornings where you fight your own doubt. The quiet nights where you wrestle your fears and still whisper to yourself, I will not quit. That is where real power is born, in the fire of persistence, because life delays only those it intends to reward deeply. It gives small prizes quickly to keep the masses entertained, but it holds the grand treasures for those who can wait without wavering, those who can believe without evidence, those who can keep the flame alive in the coldest dark. Think of Walt Disney, rejected by investors, betrayed by partners, bankrupt more than once. Yet even as everything collapsed, he would still sketch new worlds on napkins, whispering to himself, one day they'll see. His delay wasn't denial, it was design. It was preparing him for the moment when his vision would not just create cartoons, but a kingdom of dreams. And the same is true for you. Your waiting season is sacred. The delay is teaching you what comfort never could. Patience, resilience, humility, vision. It's preparing you to lead when others crumble, to stay calm when storms rage. You are being trained by time itself. So don't rush the process. Rushing ruins rhythm. You can't plant a seed today and demand fruit tomorrow. Growth doesn't obey emotion, it obeys preparation. Every goal, every vision, every destiny has its own divine clock, and you can't fast forward what eternity is still perfecting. When the delay feels unbearable, remember this, nothing real is ever lost. Energy cannot die, it only transforms. Your effort, your sacrifice, your dedication, they are not wasted, they're accumulating. Every act of faith adds weight to your manifestation until one day the balance tips and reality shifts in your favor. The dream you want is already on its way to you, but it's moving at the speed of your readiness. The moment you align mentally, emotionally, spiritually, the universe releases what it was holding for you. You don't chase, you attract. You don't force, you flow. And yes, there will be moments where the waiting burns, where you feel forgotten, unseen, overlooked. But remember, diamonds are made in darkness. The delay doesn't hide you, it hones you. When the time is right, the world will see what the darkness has been protecting. Hold your ground. Keep your head high. Every delay is a declaration that you are destined for more. The greater the purpose, the longer the preparation. Some blessings require you to mature into them, otherwise they would crush you. So instead of asking, why is this taking so long? Ask, what is this teaching me? Instead of saying, I'm being denied, say, I'm being designed. Shift your language, and your destiny will shift with it. Delay is the space between your old self and your evolved self, and only the evolved self can receive the promise. That's why it feels like a struggle. Transformation always does. You're shedding the version of you that settled, that doubted, that feared. You're becoming the version that commands. So keep walking, even when the road bends, even when you see no signs. Keep walking, for destiny rewards movement. The river may twist, but it always finds the sea, and so will you. There will come a time when everything inside you will whisper, it's useless. When your progress seems invisible, when your results mock your faith, and your patience feels like a curse. But in that stillness, when you want to quit the most, that's when you are closest to breakthrough. The universe does not test you to destroy you. It tests you to see if you're truly ready to carry what you asked for. You prayed for abundance, now it's teaching you responsibility. You prayed for success, now it's teaching you consistency. You prayed for leadership, now it's teaching you humility. Every delay is your teacher in disguise. You see, most people want the fruit, but not the roots. They want the stage, but not the silence. They crave recognition, but fear rejection. But there is no elevation without delay, because the delay burns away everything that is false. It strips ego, laziness, and self-doubt until only discipline and faith remain. I have learned that delay is not punishment. It is precision. The universe does not make mistakes. If you received everything you wanted the moment you wanted it, you would not have the strength to keep it. A mansion built on weak foundation collapses. So you are being built, brick by brick, thought by thought, day by day. Remember Thomas Edison, thousands of failures before the bulb finally glowed. But what did he say? I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that won't work. That's the attitude of a mind that refuses to confuse delay with defeat. The moment he stopped seeing time as an obstacle, he began to master it. Because delay doesn't mean it's not working. It means it's working on you. The seed doesn't doubt the soil. It doesn't scream, "Why am I buried?" It simply trusts the process. It lets the darkness do its work. That's where it finds its roots, its structure, its identity. And then one day it breaks through the surface, not because the world changed, but because it grew strong enough to rise. That is how success happens. Quietly, gradually. Beneath the surface of your frustration, the world will not clap for you when you are in the soil. They will not see your growth, your tears, your inner wars. But the day you break through, they will call you lucky. There is no luck, only persistence that refused to bow to delay. Think of Abraham Lincoln, years of failure, loss and rejection, yet he continued to rise. Every setback was molding his spirit into something unshakable. By the time he reached the presidency, he had already conquered defeat 100 times in private. The delay had trained him to lead in crisis, or consider the Wright brothers, laughed at, ridiculed, told that man was not meant to fly. They worked in barns, built wings that broke, machines that failed, but they had a vision that refused to die. Every failure was another lesson. Every delay, another step toward mastery. Until one day they did the impossible, and the world looked up. That's the power of waiting with purpose. Delay makes you dangerous, because it replaces instant gratification with divine patience. It makes you calm under pressure, strong under rejection, and focused when others panic. You begin to see that time is not your enemy. It's your ally. You stop rushing and start refining. You stop chasing and start attracting. You stop doubting and start becoming. There is a rhythm to life, like the tide that pulls back before it surges forward. When it feels like life is retreating, it's not abandoning you. It's gathering force. You are being set up for the surge, but if you panic during the pullback, you'll miss the wave. This is why faith is not about what you see. It's about what you know. It's the quiet conviction that even when everything seems still, the current is still moving. You may not see progress, but progress sees you. Every day you choose discipline over doubt. You are writing invisible chapters of victory. Every time you say not yet, instead of never, the delay shifts closer to deliverance. And then one day it happens. Suddenly, everything that was heavy feels light. Every no you receive begins to make sense. Every rejection turns out to be redirection. You realize the universe wasn't saying no. It was saying not this way. Delay is often divine protection. Sometimes you're not being denied. You're being shielded from premature success, from false opportunities, from versions of yourself that would have destroyed your destiny. So thank the delay. Honor it. Because while others are distracted by speed, you are being guided by substance. The fastest sprinters burn out, but the strongest runners endure the whole marathon. Don't let impatience rob you of greatness. The things that last the longest always take the longest to build. Gold must be refined. Diamonds must be cut. Leaders must be shaped. When you finally arrive, it won't be because life handed it to you. It will be because you became someone who earned it. So when things slow down, smile. When plans collapse, breathe. When doors close, say thank you. Because in the grand design of destiny, Delay is just another name for preparation. And when your moment finally comes, when everything aligns, you will not just succeed, you will sustain, because you will know that you didn't skip the process. You became the process. The moment you understand that delay is not denial, your entire relationship with time changes. You stop measuring progress by what you can see and start measuring it by what you can feel, the quiet growth, the deepening patience, the sharpening of your inner strength. You no longer rush the process because you finally see what the process is doing for you. The average mind despises waiting. It wants instant rewards. It wants applause before mastery, comfort before sacrifice, harvest before planting. But the mind of the successful, the mind that thinks and grows rich, understands that waiting is not wasted time. Waiting is preparation time. I have seen too many people abort their own blessings because they grew tired in the middle of their preparation. They wanted the outcome, but not the molding. They wanted the crown, but not the weight of it. Yet the weight is what gives the crown its meaning. The struggle is what gives success its value. When you are delayed, you are being carved. The dull edges of your impatience are being polished into precision. The weak bones of your discipline are being hardened into iron. The parts of you that once broke easily are being forged to withstand fire. Do you know why most people never become great? It's not because they lack talent. It's because they quit during the delay. They confuse silence for rejection. They mistake divine timing for indifference. But life never ignores those who keep moving with faith. Think of Henry Ford. Before his name became a symbol of industrial revolution, he failed multiple times. He built engines that wouldn't run, cars that wouldn't sell, companies that collapsed. People mocked his dreams. But he didn't rush. He didn't let delay become discouragement. He used every failure as feedback, every setback as blueprint, and through patience and persistence, he mastered time itself. That is what I want you to see. Delay is not time lost. It's time invested. Every challenge adds interest to your eventual success. Every hardship is a deposit of wisdom that compounds in the bank of experience. When your time finally comes, you withdraw it all at once, and the world calls it overnight success. But you'll know better. You'll know it took years of invisible deposits, discipline, faith, patience, persistence. You see, delay teaches something no book or mentor can teach. Trust in yourself. Trust in the unseen forces that guide destiny. Trust in the idea that what's meant for you cannot miss you, and what misses you was never meant for you. When you truly grasp that, peace enters your soul. You stop envying others. You stop comparing timelines. You stop asking, when will it be my turn? Because you realize it is your turn. Every moment you are alive, learning, growing, staying ready, it's your turn. The results just haven't shown up yet. Let others chase speed. You focus on direction. Let them sprint toward temporary rewards. You march toward eternal mastery. Because in the end, success doesn't belong to the fastest. It belongs to the most faithful. The mountain doesn't move for those who demand it. It moves for those who climb. Step by step, breath by breath, delay by delay. When you begin to see obstacles this way, something miraculous happens. Life stops being a series of problems and becomes a series of preparations. That disappointment you faced, it wasn't rejection, it was redirection. That closed door wasn't a curse, it was protection. That waiting season wasn't stagnation, it was incubation. You are not behind. You are being built. I have walked through my own delays, moments when faith felt thin, when every effort seemed to vanish into silence. I questioned the universe, questioned myself, questioned the point of it all. But through every silent night came one whisper, keep going. And when I obeyed that whisper, when I moved even one step forward, life opened up again. You must understand this truth. The universe rewards the mover, not the complainer. Energy aligns with motion. Even when you don't know where the path leads, just keep walking. The moment you stop moving, your blessings stop too. Look at nature. Nothing blooms all year. Even the strongest trees have seasons where they appear lifeless. But beneath that surface, roots are deepening, preparing for the next bloom. Your delay is that season. It's not the end. It's the strengthening of your roots. And when you rise again, and you will rise, you'll rise taller, firmer, more grounded than ever before. So if today you are in the waiting, don't curse it. Bless it. Because the longer the wait, the greater the unveiling. The deeper the roots, the higher the reach. The more silent the struggle, the louder the triumph. Delay is not the end of your story. It is the pause before your crescendo, the silence before the orchestra erupts in glory. The universe is tuning your soul. The melody you were born to play cannot be rushed. Hold on. The conductor hasn't forgotten you. The greatest tragedy is not failure. It is giving up right before the miracle happens. The universe has an uncanny rhythm, a timing that defies logic and mocks impatience. It waits until your faith is tested, your will is refined, and your heart is ready. Then, when the world has nearly forgotten you, the light breaks through the clouds and your destiny unfolds. You must come to understand this. Success is not a door you knock on once. It is a fortress that only opens after relentless persistence. Every no you hear, every silence you endure, every rejection you face is not the wall keeping you out. It is the hammer striking the metal of your spirit, forging your endurance. Delay is the universe asking you, how badly do you want it? Most people answer that question with words. The few who rise answer it with patience, persistence, and blood. Every great dreamer has walked this path. Edison failed over 10,000 times before he brought light to the world. Imagine the darkness he lived in before that final spark. Yet he refused to call those failures defeat. He called them education. Each delay was a teacher. Each mistake, a message. The truth is, life delays you on purpose, because the man you are today cannot yet carry the success you asked for. You must grow into it. You must expand your mind, refine your emotions, discipline your habits, and strengthen your will until you become the kind of person success recognizes. Think about that. Success is not chasing you. It is waiting for you. Waiting for the moment your vibration, your character, and your decisions align with what you say you want. If success were handed to you early, it would destroy you. If wealth came before wisdom, it would corrupt you. If power came before purpose, it would consume you. Delay is mercy disguised as disappointment. The problem is that most people never look deep enough to see it. They run from the pain that was designed to prepare them. They label their waiting seasons as punishment instead of refinement. They complain in the cocoon instead of preparing for their wings. But if you are wise, you'll begin to love the delay. You'll start to find beauty in the slowness of growth. You'll stop trying to sprint toward destiny and start evolving toward it. Because the truth is, anything built fast rarely lasts. Anything grown slow becomes unshakable. Look at the tallest trees. Their roots took decades to sink deep before they ever reached high. That's why the storms that destroy weaker trees only make them stronger. The same is true for you. Every hardship, every heartbreak, every failed attempt is deepening your roots. You cannot see it, but beneath your feet, life is anchoring you so that when success finally rises, nothing can uproot you. Delay is the discipline of destiny. It's the sacred pause that prepares the soul for greatness. The impatient man sees delay as a curse. The wise man sees it as a covenant, an agreement between himself and the universe that he will not receive anything until he is ready to keep it. So do not curse your delays. Do not cry over time lost, because there is no such thing as lost time when you are learning, growing, and aligning. Every second you wait in faith is a second that compounds your eventual reward. Do you know why the universe tests patience so intensely? Because patience is proof of faith. Anyone can believe when things are going well, but it takes divine courage to believe when everything stands still, when your effort yields silence, when your vision looks impossible, when your strength runs dry. That is where most people break, but that is also where destiny begins. There's a sacred moment between breakdown and breakthrough, a quiet, agonizing point where nothing moves, yet everything inside you shifts. That's the turning point. That's when your energy transforms from begging life to trusting it, from chasing outcomes to embodying them, from desperation to determination. And when that moment arrives, when your spirit finally says, I am no longer waiting for permission to believe, life will move faster than you ever imagined. The blessings that once hid from you will start searching for you. The opportunities that once ignored you will begin orbiting your name. Because the universe does not reward the anxious, it rewards the aligned. You must learn to hold peace in delay, to trust in darkness, to keep walking when the road is invisible. That is how every great mind before you won, not through speed, not through luck, but through stillness in faith. When you think of the giants Lincoln, who failed in business and elections before becoming president, Disney, who was fired for lacking creativity, Ford, who was told his ideas were impossible, realized that their greatness wasn't in their victories. It was in their persistence through years of delay. Every one of them was denied before they were destined. Every one of them heard laughter before applause. Every one of them faced silence before symphonies. But they kept going. And so must you. Do not fear delay. Fear only disbelief, because disbelief kills dreams faster than failure ever could. When you walk in faith, time becomes your ally. It no longer works against you. It works for you. Every delay becomes divine alignment. Every rejection becomes redirection. Every hardship becomes hidden acceleration. So when you find yourself in that long, silent season where nothing seems to move, smile. You are in the middle of your becoming. The seed must spend time buried in darkness before it ever breaks into light. That darkness isn't death. It's design. The pressure that surrounds you is not meant to crush you. It's meant to awaken the giant within you. Delay is not denial. It is destiny's training ground. It's where warriors are shaped, where believers become creators, where the ordinary transform into the extraordinary. The dream you carry is alive. Even when you can't see movement, something is happening. The universe is rearranging itself in your favor. Every moment of patience, every act of faith, every tear of perseverance is energy building behind the curtain of time. And one morning when you least expect it, that curtain will lift. The light will pour in. The world will finally see what you've been building in silence. You'll stand there, not as someone who waited, but as someone who endured. Not as someone who hoped, but as someone who believed. You'll realize the truth that was always written into the fabric of success. Delay was never denial. It was the universe saying, not yet. I am still preparing the throne for your crown. So lift your head. Hold your faith, continue your climb, because though your dream may sleep, it has not died, and when it awakens, the world will never be the same again.